Hello and welcome back to another week of Sambo iRacing, and I believe this is the favourite combo that I've ever done a track guide for. We are at VIR full and we're in the Porsche 911 992R, the GT3, and this car was just built to go on this track. It was so much fun. I love the sound of it, I love the downshifts, and it just turns in when you need it to. If you are new to my channel, I don't prattle on quite this much as a rule, but we do a hot lap and then we do a breakdown lap. Any questions, let me know in the comments. We are using the fixed setup. Brake bias, I believe, is shown on screen, and there are about 20 litres left when I did this on warm tyres. The track temps are taken from the schedule. Anyway, let's start the hot lap. Right, let's start the hot lap. So smashing it down the main straight in 6th gear, looking for the 2. We go through that, we brake quite hard up to about 85%, long trail off down to 2nd gear. Beautiful telemetry there on the left hand side. Up to 3rd, up to 4th, ignoring turn 2. And then we get a nice wide entry into turn 3, on the gas quickly in 3rd. Braking relatively hard and sharp, down to 2nd gear, back on the gas, little lift, back on the gas. Little lift, back on the gas. Beautiful. Right, now we're pinning our ears back all the way up to turn 10. Hit that 6th gear already. Little scream from the engine. We go over this hump. Now sharp on the brakes, down to 5th. Hit that apex, back on the gas. We're going to go through the 2. Now braking relatively hard. Quick trail off down to 2nd gear. Open up the corner. Make sure you jump over the apex, exit nice and wide. All about trying to get on the gas as early as possible in turn 12. Because we've got this bloody long straight. Wave at the marshal. Alright, looking for the 1 sign, braking hard. Trail it off down to the 2nd apex in 2nd gear, back on the gas. Hug it tight round to the left hand side. Now we open up the corner into 4th, little dab on the brakes, into 3rd, back on the gas, hug it round to the right hand side. And over and across the line in a... Ooh, I need to move this over for you. A 143.870. Right, let's do the breakdown. Right, let's start the breakdown. So we can brake later. I don't know if any of you have watched my Ferrari guide, but we are braking right at the 2 marker, straight up to about 85%, just holding it, holding it, holding it. Now we trail off down to the apex, dropping it down to 2nd gear. As you can see, we are still trailing off the brakes at this stage. We start building back up on the gas, getting up to 100% as we open the wheel. Up through the gears. We ignore this apex, but once we get alongside it, that's when we go onto the brakes, just holding it around 40%, dropping it down to 3rd, long trail off on the brakes, and now we can get back on the gas. So we're almost back up to full when we apex, and we go up to 100%. As we come to the end of this little green additional asphalt, that's when we're braking up to about 75%. Quick trail off, we drop it down to 2nd gear, get back on the gas at the apex. Now we're just going to do a little lift for the next apex, and then we'll get up to more or less full gas for the next apex, yeah, and then a little lift again. Now, as the car settles, we're back up to 100%, and we're just flat. I'm making sure that you're running over those curbs. At the next braking marker, you see the little dip that we're coming into. As we get into that, quickly brake up to about 60%, drop it down to 5th. Now we're really wanting to hit this apex if at all possible, because it means we can get up to 100% nice and early, and we're not going to end up in the field. Next braking marker is just before the 2, as you can see here. So I brake up to about 60%, and then trail off the majority of it by the 1st apex. And then just holding that amount of brake pressure just to slow the car down, get the weight over the front wheels, allow me to turn in. Now, as soon as I can see the apex hoving into view, you can see I'm trying to get back on the gas. I jump over the apex here, over the little curb, and then open the wheel, and as soon as I do that, I'm up to 100%. Exit nice and wide. You may need to do a little bit of counter steering as you go over that each time, but it's not too bad. Right, at the end of the straight, it's the one marker on the right hand side, that's our braking marker. We brake up to about 80%. Not putting too much steering input on. We sort of trail it off to the first bit, but then we brake a little bit harder once we've gone over the crest, and then quickly trail that off down to the apex of 14 here. Getting back on the gas as early as possible. Hugging it nice and tight to the right-hand side, sorry, left-hand side. And now we're back up to 100%. We want to open up turn 15 here, so we go right over to the right-hand side. We turn in, little dab on the brakes, is it? A little dab on the brakes. Trail that off down to third gear, and again, we always want to make sure in this little bit here that we're feeling as if we are almost on the grass with our wheels. 90% of the time you won't be, but that's the line you need to take. And then just straight over to the line. So that's a 143.8. A lot of fun driving this car. I'll see you again next week. I've been Sambo iRacing. Thanks for watching.